Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mount Carmel area's Silver Bowl, where tonight the Red Tornadoes open up their 2002 homestand against a very familiar foe, the Panthers of Panther Valley. The Red Tornadoes come into this football game 1-0, of course, with a big win over Pius X out at Bangor last week on a Saturday. The Panthers, unfortunately, opened their season as they have in the last maybe 9 or 10, I guess, with a loss to arch rival Lehighton. They have a new coach, and that's also something we gotten kind of used to seeing. I believe it was Russo, I guess his name is. And he's from apparently New York. He's come in to coach the Panthers, so we'll see what he brings to the table tonight. Of course, his first night in the Silver Bowl will be probably a hard one, the way it looks. The other thing you want to look at tonight, folks, and you'll see it on your screen instantly, is take a look at the field. That is the new turf that was put down through the summer months. I was out on it earlier tonight, and it is the most unbelievable field I've ever been on. Much like Shamokin area, they also have a fabulous football field. This makes already the showcase stadium in high school in the state of Pennsylvania even more so when you go down and touch it and walk on it. It is just absolutely perfect. It's going to be a joy to watch and play. It should cut down injuries. All kinds of good things are going to come from it. Plus, it is just great to watch. So it was a great job. The school board money well spent, obviously, when you're looking at this field and you feel what it's like and go out and see it. The Red Tornadoes, of course, as we said, beating Pius X last Saturday, a hard-fought game. The score did not particularly indicate how hard-fought that game was. That was a good Pius X squad with some good returning skill people, and they gave us a handful to right near the end of the game. What was noticeable, Wayne, and what we even talked about at Supper Club and the team mentioned was how good a shape they felt they were in. Compared to last year, they dominated the fourth quarter. They were bigger, and they dominated that fourth quarter when Pius kind of ran out of gas from all the pounding they were taking throughout the game.
Well, you take a look at last year's film. I would say probably about the middle of the second quarter. You can see at the beginning of the season last year we were hurting. Our kids could have played probably another quarter the way they were going. We had some good substitutions. It did rest some legs there in the fourth period, but I'll tell you what, they look strong. They look very quick off the ball for our size this year, a lot larger than we were last year on the line. And, it did show that this team has come out prepared very well during the summer and is ready to play this football season. Absolutely.
The Panthers come in here a little bit inexperienced. They did lose some people from last year, and it was already a kind of a disastrous year last year. I don't think they won a game, in fact. So they're looking to get on the winning side. They're a dangerous team. I mean, in high school, any team is dangerous. If you come in here thinking you're just going to walk off with a win, you're going to be in serious trouble. Number 42 for the Panthers, Tony Zuzu. That's Z-U-Z-U. I'm not pronouncing it wrong. Zuzu is teeing it up, and he'll kick. And, of course, back down there deep is Wargo. Chicatano in the middle and led Cabbage out there on the far side to receive the opening kickoff.
This is the 35th year these two teams have met. This started back in 1968. Panther Valley Tornadoes won 40-0 the initial game. We have only lost 4 times through this series.
Yeah, this is an extremely lopsided series over the amount of years that we've played them, and the kickoff is off, and it's going to go to Chicatano right in the middle. He cuts right up the middle and takes it all the way out to the Mount Carmel area, 48-yard line, where the Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10. And that's a nice start to the game there with Chicatano. Of course, his heroics of last week still fresh in all of our minds.
Yeah, what a great interception, 99 yards back. And the great part about that, as you looked at that film even on Wednesday, is that when he got that ball, he looked for the open field and cut right towards the Mount Carmel bench and down the sidelines.
So Shinsky lines him up, and he's going to pass right away to Wargo out in the flat. Wargo's over the midfield stripe all the way down to the Panther Valley 38-yard line, where it'll be a first down for the Red Tornadoes, and the Red Tornadoes come out slinging right on the first play of the game.
Number 54, Randy Swank, is the center for the Tornadoes. Left guard, number 56, Rich Greco. 72, Joe Dowkus, the right guard. The tackles, number 79, John Skinner, and number 71, Marshall Merarkey, the right tackle.
High formation. The Panthers have jumped offside. Be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll be 1st and 5 now for the Red Tornadoes.
Finishing off the line here, the tight end, number 29, Damian Buggy. The split end, number 27, Tim Wargo. Of course, our quarterback, the general back there, number 8, Dave Shinsky. The slot man, number 21, Steve Matsur. Dave Brown, number 39, the blocking fullback, and number 32, the tailback, Damian Chicatano.
We give it to Chicatano, and he's going to be brought down very quickly there, right at the line of scrimmage. A nice play on the Panther Valley side of the ball by number 83 for the Panthers, and that's Frank Maurer. So a nice job by Frank Maurer as he eluded the block and was able to bring Damian down. It's going to bring up a second down, and I would say 5. I don't think there was much of a gain on the play. So 2nd and 5 for the Big Red as Brown trots off the field. And we'll line up now with Shinsky at that fullback spot. In that I formation again with Shinsky in front. He's got Damian as the tailback. And he goes back to pass, and he looks on the pass, and he's got Matsura, and Matsura will pick up the first down. And he's down to the 23-yard line of the Panthers where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. And the Panthers could have a long night ahead of them. They don't start defending the pass. They're short passes so far, right in the flat, and they're not even close.
And I'll tell you what, that is what Dave is really good at. Hitting the short, the little flare pass out to the sideline. You know, the receiver breaks out after 5 yards, and Dave just lays it out there. Very nice for the receiver. Either you're going to catch it or it's going to go out of bounds, one or the other.
So the Red Tornadoes kind of methodically marching down the field in their opening series here. He puts Litkavich in motion, but he hands it right to Lashinsky, right up the middle. Lashinsky powers his way down. He's down at the 10-yard line where, again, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. And we'll see where they place that ball, just outside the 10. So it is 1st and 10. They can still get a first down before they go into the end zone here.
Some good trap blocking down there with Marshall Merarkey, number 71. And Joe Daukus, a freshman, 220 pounds, a guard, number 72.
He's come on, that guy, I'll tell you.
He had a great game last week against they all did, this whole interior line against a quality team last week.
Shotgun formation for Shinsky as he's got everybody out in the pattern. Plenty of time. He looks around. He's heading for Matsura, but over his head into the end zone will bring up 2nd down now and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. Plenty of time, but good pass coverage by the Panthers that time.
Yeah, that's what they needed to do. But you can see the amount of time that Dave has, even last week, tremendous amount of time to just sit back and look over all the receivers that are downfield.
So Wargo will bring the play in. They're trying to decide who should come in and out. I guess they got everybody out, so they're okay.
John Darris coming out, the wide receiver on the right-hand side.
Shinsky's rolling out, and he's not going anywhere. He is tackled behind the line of scrimmage down there by number 83 again. That's Frank Marr.
73.
I'm sorry, 73?
73 had him by the ankles that time.
Let's give that to James Faust then of the Panther. I thought it was 83. Are you sure?
Yep.
You're the one wearing the second-hand glasses right now.
Easy now, easy.
So are you sure?
Yep. Good play that time. We faked it in, hoping to hold everybody right in their position. And Dave was trying to roll out to the right. Either there was going to be a run or a pass play. It looked like we were trying to set up a pass play there.
Okay, it brings up 3rd down and 15 now. As we put Wargo in motion and he stops, we got Brown in the backfield, and Shinsky is obviously looking back to pass. He passes out there to number 3, and that's going to be John Dara on a cut-in. Dara takes it back down, and he's going to have the ball back at the 10 where he pretty much originally began. It'll bring up 4th now and 10 for the Red Tornadoes.
Flag on the play. We got motion against the Tornadoes.
Now it's going to bring up 3rd now and 20. And they'll bring up a 3rd down and 20 now for the Red Tornadoes as they've sputtered now as they got into the red zone at the 10-yard line. Chicatano brings the play in. Dara comes out. And we'll see what Coach Brennan has in mind as Shinsky trots back into the huddle. How is it 4th and 10 still? I missed that, though. Who was that on?
I don't know.
Neither. Shinsky now looking in the end zone. He's got Matsura. Matsura slid down. The pass is intercepted in the end zone. A flag goes down. on the interception, and I believe that's number 12 for the Panthers on the interception, Joel Parambo. There's a Chris Parambo, number 3 in this group. There's more Parambos floating around Lansford than I believe any other name in the history of man. But Red Tornadoes are stalled now with an interception in the end zone. He brings it out to the they're going to place the ball. There's a penalty on the play, so the ball is placed still far at the far side.
Yeah, it's holding on Panther Valley after the interception.
All right, they're at the 12-yard line, so they're going to march this thing back, and the Panthers will take over right around the 5-yard line when they finally place it down. And that time, Matsura really slipped down, and that's where the interception came from. As he was falling, the ball just sailed right past him into the arms of Parambo from Panther Valley. So a tough break for the Red Tornadoes. But the Panthers now sitting on their own 5-yard line with first down as their offense comes out. The quarterback, number 7, is Nate Shook for the Panthers. And they go nowhere. In fact, they lost a yard on the play if they put it down where he fell. If not, they'll put it back in the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Swank in there. They tried to run in between Swank and Brown, and Randy just slanted down towards the hole and made the tackle just about immediately.
Who's lining up in the backfield lane? Can you see what their numbers are extremely difficult to look at.
Number 5.
All right, Kohler. Kohler's the guy that I thought would be, and he is in there. Shook takes the center in his own end zone, and he takes off, and he fires it out of bounds. Not even close to the receiver. Brings up 3rd and 10 now for the Panthers at their own 5. And that's pretty good play, though. I mean, that's pretty gutsy play by Coach Russo where they actually pass in their own end zone. So he's not shy about anything, obviously. And the Panthers now take a timeout, and that's an early timeout. There's 7:39 remaining here in the first quarter of play at Mount Carmel. No score, but the Red Tornadoes have the Panthers pinned down in their own area.
Well, maybe I can get through the whole roster. It's a little tough when they're running plays here to get through the whole roster, and I do apologize if I miss anybody as I do that. But on defense, we have number 39, nose guard, Dave Brown. He's a senior. Number 54, left tackle, Randy Swank, 270 pounds, a senior. Number 79, John Skinner, the right tackle. He's a junior, 280 pounds. Number 41, Justin Leonovich, a junior, 190 pounds. Number 29, the other left end, Damian Buggy, 195-pound senior. Of course, the man here, the linebacker who's been there quite a few number of years now is number 21, Steve Matsura, senior. Number 45, the other linebacker, Mike Lashinsky. The corner, number 32, Damian Shikatano, a junior. The other corner, number 3, Johnny Dara, 185-pound senior. Strong safety, Mike Kufta. Free safety, Drew LeCavage.
We're going to kick here, and we do, and it goes over our heads. A quick kick out past the 50, rolls down to the Mount Carmel area, 44-yard line, where LeCavage picks it up along the Panther sideline.
Good move.
And then moves it back over the midfield stripe into Panther territory at the Red Tornado 48-yard line, where we 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes, and that was kind of a last-minute decision. He picked it up and took off down the sideline. So
there was no coverage. Nobody went down and tried to down the ball, and a great move. He picked up 7 yards on the return.
So the Panthers get themselves out of a little bit of trouble, but the Red Tornadoes still in Panther territory as they begin the second drive of the evening. Hands it off to Shikatano, and Shikatano is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Tough line play again. That's number 73 in there for the Panthers, James Faust, and he's doing a bang-up job over there on the left side of the ball for the Panthers.
That's the second time now he made a very good play, made good penetration, and as soon as we hit the line of scrimmage. We have Brown leading that play. We tried to run that play to the left-hand side last time also, that Brown leading the play through for Shikatano, and 73 making the tackle.
Shinsky goes back to pass, heavy rush. He looks to the sideline, and there is Dara.
Nice.
And Dara makes a great catch
Yes.
down at the Panther 43-yard line. Nice hands by Dara.
Nice hands and a good throw by Dave Shinsky under pressure. You see, he's just about ready to get hit when he releases the ball, but it was good concentration by Dave Shinsky to watch the receiver all the way down on the sidelines out on the flat. That ball was either going to be caught or was going out of bounds, and that's what Dave wants to throw.
Brings up a 3rd and 5 now for the Red Tornadoes. And we'll pass again here as he looks downfield. He was trying to hit Dara as Dara was streaking over the middle just a little bit too high. It'll bring up 4th down now and 5 for the Red Tornadoes as the Panthers are playing inspired defense right at the moment. And the Red Tornadoes look like they're going to kick. Try to pin the Panthers down to their own goal line again as Shinsky will line up in punt formation. Kohler, number 5, and number 28, Stefanik for the Panthers down deep for the punt return. Kohler, number 5, is the guy to watch. He's the speed burner on this team. He may be as quick as anybody on our side of the ball right now.
Oh, baby.
Really high. I mean, high. And we're trying to get to it. And, it just tails in. That was a great kick, though. Was that high?
Oh, you're not kidding.
A lot of hang time. But it rolls into the end zone, so the Panthers will take over on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Dave had a lot of time with that, with the punt. And, what's nice about that, he was relaxed. And that's what happens when you relax and you don't have to force it. Boy, I'll tell you what, he really put that ball up there. A lot of hang time.
Well, Shook will line up in that. Nice play by everybody. Shook took a major hit down there. Matsura took the ball carry down, but Shook got leveled.
Yeah, Brown.
I don't think they should run that play again.
I don't think
that
so.
Was ugly.
He's probably going back and saying, please tell the coach when you go out, don't run that play again. Damian Buggy was on the blitz from his defensive end, and the quarterback was coming in that direction.
So Shook will go back into that shotgun again. And he hands off from the shotgun, and oh my goodness, that's done with in a hurry. Number 54, of course, the big man, Randy Swank, all over the ball carrier and buries him. The Panthers have now lost about 6 yards since they started here. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 16 now as the Red Tornadoes are dominating the offensive line of the Panthers.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a difficult time all night long trying to move this defensive line.
So he goes into a trips left, takes the ball in the shotgun. He's under heavy pressure from Brown, and he gets hit as he let the ball go and goes out of bounds. But Brown all over him, and Shook goes down before he can really get a good pass off. And now it's 4th and 16 for the Panthers, and they'll be in a punting situation again deep in their own area.
We sort of had a different rush there that time. Different defense we've never seen before. We had a 3-man rush. Brown comes out of the nose guard position. Marshall Meraki moves down, and Brown standing up as a defensive end, and that's the reason why he had a good rush on.
Flag on the play before you get the punt off, and we'll see what they call in there. I believe somebody probably moved is what it'll turn out to be. Number 12 is doing the kicking. Joe Parambo will be the punter. The Panthers just are shooting themselves in the foot here. Illegal substitution is the call on the punt, which is somewhat odd that you would have that on a punt, but they did. So now it's bringing up 4th and 21, and once again, Parambo's in his own end zone.
Right on the end line, too. I mean, he's real close.
He's tight in the end zone there. You can see it. No, he gets it off, and he angles it way over to the Panthers sideline. We'll see where they mark it out. And he stops right dead at the 20-yard line. So a horrible kick for the Panthers, and the Red Tornadoes now take over 1st and 10 on the Panther 20-yard line. So everything's being played in the Panther side of the 50-yard line right now. And although no score, the Panthers are definitely not mounting much of a threat offensively. The Red Tornadoes would dearly like to get untracked offensively and get this thing to bed early, get some guys some rest, and get some players into the game. And that's exactly what they're thinking. So we're going to line it up there. We're going to have
Kovaleski, number 30.
In the tailback. Yeah, and he gets it. Kovaleski has it. Trying to get around the end. He makes a nice move Kovaleski, and he's going to carry it all the way down to the 6-yard line.
As you were listening, you could hear everybody go, ooh. That was Brown just leveling the defensive end as
Here you
he was
see it.
coming
Watch.
around as the lead block.
Brown's coming at you here. Oh, nice blocking. And there you see Kovaleski. Mark makes a nice cut. Little burst of speed there. Takes him all the way down to the 6, where it's 1st and goal from the 6-yard line for the Red Tornadoes.
That had a Hoyt.
Yeah, Hannah Hoyt is right. Puts Matsura in motion. And this one goes right up the middle of Brown, and the Panthers are tough. Stop for no gain. 2nd and 6, 2nd and goal from the 6 now is no gain. They are tough inside so far tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a little bit of stunning in the inside. They're a little bit of movement. Has the offensive blocking scheme a little confused. Looks like we're putting the powerhouse backfield in here? No.
Well, the Cabbage came in with the play. I mean, you see where he lines up. It doesn't look like that's what they'll do.
Oh, okay. We got
They're going to keep just Lashinsky. Get one guy in the backfield, the Cabbage out in the slot, and he'll now go in motion. And they lateral it to him, and they've got everybody out there. He's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Carmel area. Drew Litkavich on a 6-yard run. First scoring of the evening here as the Red Tornadoes come out to a 6-0 lead. The point after to occur in a moment as number 4 for the Red Tornadoes, the extra point guy, Matt Kufta, gets things straightened out there. He wants to get it where he wants it there. Shinsky is his holder. And we'll do this. And Matt puts it up and puts it through.
Very good.
So at the 4:04 mark of the first quarter, Mount Carmel area now 7 and Panther Valley 0 with the kickoff to ensue. And I think we're starting off a little sluggish, and I think Coach Brennan is probably mentioning that to them, that he'd like a little bit crisper line play. Certainly, this team was completely gouged by Lehighton last week. I mean, it was horrible. That score could have been worse than it was. So, I mean, they did not put much of a fight up, and that's kind of a real backyard rivalry.
I was just
going to
say, that's like the Schmoker Mount Carmel game. Right. That's a barn burner up there all the time, and
A little surprised that they didn't play better. Now, of course, the old adage among coaches is you make all your improvements between the first and second game, and maybe they did. I mean, they're learning a new system under Coach Tony Russo here from New York. They're a little bit different than we're used to seeing them. A little different size to them. They're a much smaller team than we've seen from Panther Valley for a long time. Usually they're enormous, and they're not this year. So it may take a little while in this season for them to gel. The other thing about them is they've dropped it to single A. They're a single A school now, not double A as they have been. And that doesn't bode well for us. I'm not sure how long the series would last with them at single A, whether they want us or whether we want them on the schedule. That'll remain to be seen. They're one of the last of the old-time schools. It would be a shame to lose them. Shinsky tees it up. And he's heading down in there, and it's picked out by number 14. No, not 14. We'll see what it is. Another 14. I can't read their numbers from the front at all. The back, you can see it, Wayne.
84.
84, okay. 84 is Tony Tessitore. And he returns the ball out to the Panther 27-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 Panthers. You look at their uniforms from the front, their numbers are their back are easy to read, but they have to turn for you to see them. Very difficult from the front side of it there. And they have the word Panthers written above their number, which also makes it difficult. So Shook lines up under center here. And he hands it off real quick, and that's over before it goes anywhere as Brown buries the ball carrier. And that's number 5, Kohler. He's the speed demon, but you don't get much speed demon when you're hit as the ball's handed to you, as Brown just did.
No, Brown was there, Swank, and number 41, Justin Leanovich. That game there, everybody stood out in one position or another. Justin Leanovich played a consistent ball game. He contained every time that the run came in his direction. He did what he had to do. He just played a nice, quiet game and played in his own realm.
Shook looks downfield, and it's tipped. It's tipped, and he is just murdered again down there. That's Brown as the first guy to hit him, but he was finished off down there by Greco. So you get Brown and Greco pounding on you, and Shook's not going to be long for this world. He's got to get some more protection.
Yeah, between Brown, and now you have Greco hitting on him. You have Swank in there. You keep on picking yourself up after 280 pounds, keep on hitting you, and 220 pounds. It's going to be a long night.
So it brings up 3rd and 13. The Panthers are in serious minus yardage offensively so far in this game. It's 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first quarter as Shook is now going to pass. But Brown, again, I don't know who's supposed to be on Brown, but whoever it is isn't watching him because Brown is a one-man crew right now in the Panther backfield. It brings up 4th down, and the Panthers will have to punt the ball away.
Yeah, that time we saw Rich Greco playing the right linebacker position.
So Prambo, this time at least he's not standing in his own end zone, so he's getting a little bit better in that respect as he'll go back and punt it. It's a nice kickoff. It heads in the direction of Wargo, but it's going to go out of bounds around the 46-yard line of the Panthers. Still the game being played on the Panthers side of the 50-yard line. So the Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10, leading 7-0. And the Panthers need to make a stand here if they're going to try to hold on to this game any longer than they are right now. They're not offensively doing nothing. They're not in the game at all. Defensively playing tough on the line. They're definitely playing tough along the line.
They're doing a very good job containing the center. Now, we did kick to the outside once or twice and, showed some success to the outside because of the amount of speed, but not too much up the center.
Shinsky looks the pass, and he looks over, and it's intercepted by number 3. And he's going to be brought down by Wargo, but the interception by Chris Parambo, the brother of Joel. And that's another interception for the Red Tornadoes. They turn the ball over, and the Panthers finally are in Mount Carmel area territory.
Number 83, Frank Moore, had gotten up from his defensive end position and gotten a hand on the ball.
So the ball now on the Mount Carmel area 37-yard line, where the Panthers will take over 1st and 10, and with new life on offense. So Shook will come up under center. He's got a traditional kind of an I backfield there. And he's going to pass. He's got Swank looking for him, and he's got Buggy, and he throws it completely out of bounds, almost over the fence.
Number 50, Jerry Lepotsky comes in at the nose guard position for that series. Swank's now out, and number 71, Marshall Markey, goes in at left tackle.
So the woes continue for the Panthers on offense as he has absolutely no time. No receivers are open. They're getting good defensive coverage in the Mount Carmel area defensive backfield.
I think some of the problem is the amount of pressure that is being put on him by Swank and Brown and the rest of them. Swank just about walked through. The halfback did not even want to block him that time.
So Shook is again in that shotgun, and he looks to pass now. He gave it to number 12 there, and that's Joel Brown. He throws it right to Letkavich. And that was definitely an ill-founded play if I ever saw one. So the razzle-dazzle backfires on the Panthers. They throw an interception to Letkavich. And just like that, the Red Tornadoes are back in business, and they're up at their own, let's see where they placed, probably the 49-yard line. Yeah, the Mount Carmel area 49-yard line. So that play was wacky from the start.
You have to look at that call. Number one, they haven't done anything on the run to make us even defend it. And then all of a sudden you come in and you throw the old flea flicker there, pitch back, and the halfback throws the ball. Now, that worked last week, one play, and the only reason was because Pius X had moved the ball a little bit in the first quarter.
Yeah. And Matsura comes towards us in motion. We swing it out to Kovaleski, who's trying to get outside, and he does. Nice play by Kovaleski. He crosses back into Panther territory, down to the Panther 46-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Red Tornadoes as Mark is showing some speed on the outside.
Again,
nice play.
Some nice blocking. You got the pulling guards there. Daukus coming out and Greco from the other side. Even last week, you could see the speed and the strength and some fine shield blocking for the runners.
Shinsky drops back to pass. He drops straight back. He finds Matsura over the middle. And Matsura, a nice move. Another nice. Matsura,
and a nice block.
Matsura takes it into the end zone. Touchdown. But number 41 for the Red Tornadoes down there. Justin Leonovich powdered a guy down there on a block. enabling Matsura, who had just eluded the same guy to cross the goal line.
And take a look here. Here's Matsura coming towards you. It was a nice hit by 28, but the strength takes over. But watch the stiff arm right here.
And then this, we don't see it, but that's the same. There you go. You see the end of that kid getting killed there by Leonovich as Matsura takes it in. Kufta for the extra point attempt. He puts it up, and it is good. So now at the 1:28 mark of the first quarter of play here at Mount Carmel, it is Mount Carmel area 14. The Panthers of Panther Valley 0. And that was a pretty play by Matsura. That was speed and strength and agility all in the same run there. So
he catches that ball over the center of the field. You know, he had to go up a little bit forward, came down, and he looked for the open area and cut to the right. But I'll tell you what, you can see how strong Matsura is. Breaking his tackle, stiff arm the second guy, and then takes it in the rest of the way.
So the Red Tornadoes pretty much dominating the Panthers here in the first quarter, as a lot of people expected. This is not a big surprise to anybody. Coach Brennan talked about it last night a little bit, and very oddly for a coach, I mean, but this is a testament to his honesty. You know, basically said we're supposed to win. You know, we're supposed to beat this team. We should beat this team, and I'm expecting to beat this team. And he made no bones about it. So that kind of candor carries a long way when you're talking to people. And the Supper Club last night was enthralled in a couple different ways. Of course, Coach answering the questions of Bangor and up at Bangor, and then this week coming and all. And I'll talk a little bit more about some of our guests last night that really had us going a little bit. They had some great players there last night. We enjoyed the talk. So Shinsky looks around, gets the signal to kick it off, and he does. He hands it over to the short man now, and he's going to try to bring it upfield. That's 12. That's Parambo. Parambo takes it up over the 30-yard line, out to about the 33, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Lashinsky in on that tackle. Greco. And John Scheiko, number 37.
Now this will be the spot where the Panthers pretty much want to get something going here. If nothing else, get out of this quarter without any more scores and see if we can't regroup, because they're definitely being demolished offensively right now. So Shook's going to hand it off to Kohler, number 5. He's the guy with the speed and a nice play. And this time, positive yardage finally for the Panthers. But Shook again, Buggy just took his head off. Shook took another big hit. It's going to be about a 7-yard gain for Kohler. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 3 now. The first short yardage situation of the evening for the Panthers.
We have some shifting going on, in the line. Swank is down. He's taking a rest. We have Marshall Merarkey on the left side. We have number 50, Jerry Lepotsky, playing right tackle, and number 66, John Novak, playing the right defensive end position.
Again, we kind of shovel it out to Kohler, and Kohler's going to cross over the 40-yard line up to the 44, where it's 1st 10, the initial first down, 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Now, the only problem with that is, they're trying to beat the rush. They're trying to pitch the ball underneath the rush, but the only problem is that the quarterback is taking a pounding from Buggy. Buggy is just unloading every time he pitches the ball.
We haven't seen this type of offense much, at least around here. I mean, you leave your quarterback pretty much by himself. I mean, he doesn't have any protection in this offense right now. This one right up the middle, and it'll go nowhere. No gain on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. That was Chris Parambo of the Parambo brothers there on the carry. I don't think running up the middle is where they're going to do it. I think Kohler outside a little bit, if they can get him outside with his speed, is probably their best bet right now. But the middle of the line, they're not able to move. The Red Tornadoes, there's no surge whatsoever. The surge is the opposite direction.
Well, we got Brown back in, we got Swank back in, so we got those guys that are used to playing in those positions.
So they got a penalty on the play, and I'm not sure who that's against. We'll wait and see. Maybe we lined up wrong. I'm not sure. Got to delay a game on the Panthers, and they're pretty much trying out everything he can, I think, this year in the first quarter of play. So delay a game will knock them back 5 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down now and 15.
You're watching the line play, defensive line play here with Brown. Brown's playing nose guard, and then all of a sudden, we have a switch there. Jerry Lepotsky's moving in, number 50 to the nose guard position. Now look at Brown comes out to the tackle position.
Shook back the pass. Got some time this time, and he lets it go. And when he lets it go, he lets it go way over the head of the intended receiver down there, which is number 28, John Stefanik. So we'll bring up third down now and 15 for the Panthers on a drive that started off finally pretty well with a first down, and they've steadily gone backwards. And that, ladies and gentlemen, also is the end of the first quarter of play here at the Silver Bowl, with the score of Mount Carmel area 14 and the Panthers of Panther Valley 0. And we talked a little bit last night about Supper Club, about the club last night, and getting about 6:15 or so in the back room at Tucci's if you're coming down. Just a great crowd last night again. I mean, it's just a great crowd every week. Some new faces every week, a lot of old faces every week, a lot of regulars. And, of course, the players and the cheerleaders were there last week. And last time we had 4 coaches had come down. But I want to take a minute to stop and talk about Damian Buggy. You know, we have a thing at the end of when you're done eating, you get to ask questions. And the first questions are to the players and cheerleaders. And then when those questions are over, they leave and go to Pride Night, and the coaches remain for another set of questioning. And then we asked someone, of the 4 players, we asked someone to stand up and represent them. And then last night it was Damian. I picked him. And I'll tell you what, he was absolutely fabulous. The poise that he had and the insight and the way he handled himself, I was just so impressed. I just was. I know he was such a nice kid. I've talked about him before, but I was just so impressed with him last night, and everybody was. Shook puts up a wounded duck. The intended receiver was number 5, Kohler, but he was already laying down on the Mount Carmel area sideline, and Shook just let that one go. He had no idea where the receiver was.
Well, the reason he had no idea is because he had Brown and Swank and Buggy and Mike Lashinsky, just barreling down his throat here. He had no time to even look over any of the receivers.
So the Panthers back in a familiar position with Parambo back in punt formation. The Red Tornadoes do not put any pressure on, and he always kicks it the same way. You notice that? Always to the sideline.
And low.
He kicks
to the right side.
He kicks it low and always to the right side. I'm not sure why he does that, but it's always going to be on the right side. You can pretty much guarantee it. And that one didn't go all that far, but at least back into Red Tornado territory, they're going to take over on their own 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. But he has a very different way of punting than we're used to. He doesn't square up to it.
Oh, no.
He side legs it somehow.
He makes it obvious that he's going to the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, there's the guy on the other side might as well take a nap, because it's never coming his way. Shinsky in a little bit of delay to Chicatano, and he's banged down. He's going to gain a yard in the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. But again, 73 Faust, and he's having himself a whale of a football game. Was the first guy in on the play, and he's just playing tough on that side of the line. He's not giving any room at all. They're not able to move him.
Oh, we make quite a few changes here. We take Brown out. We put Mike Lashinsky in. We put in our passing offense here. Split both sides.
Back to pass. We look over. We flooded the zone. He was trying to get to Matsura, but was high.
That time he had a little bit of pressure from the right defensive end, number 82. He put a good sprint on, put some pressure on Dave. Dave released the ball probably a little bit earlier than he wanted to.
Well, it's going to bring up a 3rd down and a very long 9. I'd say 3rd down and pretty close to 10, to tell you the truth. As Wargo trots off now, and we'll send Shinsky in with the play.
Number 3, John Dara, goes in for Timmy.
Shotgun formation. Shinsky's back this time. Plenty of time. Steps up, and he's got
nice.
Man, Dara. And Dara is out over the 45-yard line and stretches it out to the 47-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Dave, excellent play. He felt a little bit of pressure on the right-hand side, and he came up into the pocket and left the pressure go behind him. Watched everything. Great pass pattern by John Dara, going down about 15 yards, making sure that he had the first down and hooking back up on his pass pattern, coming back towards the line of scrimmage.
I formation now. And we give it to Chicatano. He tries to get outside, and he's not going to make it. He's hauled down in there by number 3, and that's Parambo, Chris, of the Panthers. And they are still pretty tough to get around there on the ground. See him coming at you, and you can see 3 squaring up to look at him, and he just couldn't get away from him. He had some blockers in front of him, but he couldn't get away from Parambo, and that blew the play up. So 2nd down and 10. This time we got a lone back, and we put Ledkavich in motion. We give it to Matsura on that kind of inside handoff, and Matsura will gain a couple yards up to the 49-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes.
John Skinner trying a little trap play down there from his tackle position, trying to open up the hole a little bit for Matsura because there was a counter play coming back in the opposite direction. But, we've seen that Panther Valley hasn't moved too much from the center of their defensive line. Their linebackers are playing a pretty good game, containing the center. Any run coming back into the center.
Shotgun formation for Shinsky now, so he's going to look downfield. Good protection, plenty of room. He's heading down there to Matsura. Matsura just couldn't get underneath it there as he lobbed it down in his direction, though, very close. It's going to bring up 4th down now for the Red Tornadoes. And a long 8 as they'll drop back into punt formation. And Wayne, I'll bet you did not notice the cheerleaders are wearing their new uniforms.
No, I did not notice.
Yes, they are. We talked about that a little bit last night with the 2 girls that were with us.
It's nice to see them down here on the 50-yard line cheering. Usually they're up about the 20, 30-yard line out of the way a little bit. But
Fumble on the play, and I believe we're at the Big Red. Let's see who comes up with that. Red Tornadoes have recovered it. That's Dave Quintero. Dave Quintero, number 1, down there to make the hit. Fumble on the play. The Red Tornadoes pick it up, and it's now 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes down at the Panther Valley 18-yard line. And a major gaffe by the Panthers on the punt return. So we get 2 guys out of the huddle before we get that illegal substitution deal. Before we force somebody to grab his heart in the middle of the field. You got Brown in the backfield. We put Ledkavich in motion. We're going to have flags all over the place as they're trying to get Ledkavich to the outside on that pitch play. And that's undoubtedly going against the Red Tornadoes. As a motion penalty will hit us, it'll bring up 1st down and 15 now from the 23.
Actually, that's similar to the old student body. Remember that we used to run? It's a pitch to the tailback, using the wide side of the field, giving him as much running room as possible. But we're not only leading him with the blocking fullback, but another halfback in the I position and pulling the 2 guards at the same time. So, you got an army of blockers out in front of you.
The little difference is that you don't have the fullback or the quarterback doing it, going in front of it.
Right.
That was our traditional play. This time we go to Kovaleski. Kovaleski up over the 20-yard line, and he'll be knocked down at the 19-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11. In the old days, in the real old days, you saw the films of Doc Greco, for example.
Oh, yeah. He was
leading
the greatest.
Either carrying the ball or leading it as he pitched. So that little bit different variations. You bring Ledkavich sweeping around from the offside.
He was certainly a workhorse quarterback.
Oh, my goodness.
He gave 100% every play. And, you're talking about, leading guys like Joe Ambrose. Yeah. It was like a half a house to begin with.
Ambrose coming at you like a train.
Bobby Veach and Gary Diminick, So, Doc was a workhorse quarterback.
We head for Wargo in the end zone, and it is intercepted down there on right at the back of the end zone. That's 12. That's Parambo. makes the interception on the Shinsky pass to Wargu in the end zone, and we turn the ball over once again, and it is now Panther Valley 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line with 8:14 remaining here in the second quarter of play. So a lot of turnovers, and I'm sure Coach Brennan is not happy about the turnover situation, but for the rest of it, we're doing pretty well. I'm sure he'd like to move the ball on the ground a little better than we are, though. All right, Shook's got it there, and he hands it off to Kohler, and Kohler is just murdered. I mean, he's just killed down there.
41, Justin Leonovich.
Yeah, Leonovich was
all over him. He took the lead blocker on and pushed him right back into the ball carrier.
Loss of yardage again for the Panthers. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 14 now as he drops 4 yards on the Leonovich hit. So defensively, I don't think you could ask for more than we're doing.
Oh, gosh, no. No, they're playing some good defensive football, staying in their zones, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Buggy all over the quarterback. He gets it inside to his receiver, and he gains some nice yardage. In fact, he'll pick up the first down. The ball pops loose, but they're going to call it down. That's Kohler, 5 on the reception.
He's 5 yards short. That was a screen pass. They sort of left the rush come in a little bit. If you take a look here, and he sets up on the left-hand side, right behind all of his blockers.
There you have it. Yeah, he got a nice block there. He needed to elude. The guy he had to get away from there was 71, Marshall Merarkey. Once he got past him, he picked up some yardage. But I'm so used to looking at them, I thought he passed the yard marker, but that's the first one. So, ball out.
Yep.
Swank hit him, knocked the ball out. Marshall Merarkey picks the ball up, and it's a fumble.
And Brown was
Brown was the other guy that Marshall stuck his hand out and caught his arm as he was going by him, and he flipped the ball out. He couldn't catch it again because Brown had him going onto the ground, and then you see Marshall pick up the fumble. So Red Tornadoes back in business on offense now at the 18-yard line of the Panthers, and offensively they do not want to look at the films of this thing. This is because it's too ugly to describe even.
Look at Brown going.
All right, Dave
nice
Brown up over the 10-yard line down to the 8-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd down and about 1.
No, Dave carrying that ball, he's going to put a hoiting on somebody, I'll tell you.
He's a load. Yeah. I said, we talked about him. He looks just like Larry Zonka when he's running. He wears the same number now. Coach Brennan had said that, and as soon as he said it, everybody's light went on. I thought, yeah, he really does look like him. All right, Shikatana will stand behind him, but Brown right up the middle, and Brown.
Look at this.
Brown
Touchdown.
Just pounds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Dave Brown on an 8-yard run. And the score now, Mount Carmel area 20, the Panthers 0. Kufta on for the extra point attempt at the 6:17 mark of the second quarter, and the Panthers are in serious trouble.
Good.
So it's up and good. He's perfect for the evening. The score, Mount Carmel area 21, Panther Valley 0. The Red Tornadoes will get ready to kick off. And it might be the field, I don't know, but it's definitely something wrong with the Panther Valley offense right now. As they are suffering. Defensively, they're playing a good game. And I know they're down 21, but first of all, they had the worst field position of any people you could think of.
First quarter.
And the offense keeps turning the ball over inside the 20-yard line. So defensively, they've got nothing to complain about. They've done a very good job, and they've really contained the Mount Carmel area running game. I know that
everything up the center they have done a very good job with, except for the last set of carries there by Brown, where he picked up the first down, 8 yards the first time, and then another 8 yards for the score. That could be contributed to them looking for the tailback or the halfback carrying the ball and not even watching Brown at all.
Well, I mean, you got a lot of weapons here, and you're trying to pay attention. Now, Brown, the bottom line with Brown, if he gets ahead of steam at the line of scrimmage, he's going to seriously pick up 5 or 7 or 8 yards that you just did there.
And that's what's going to hurt you.
You're not going to bring him down. It just doesn't happen that way. I mean, if he's got a good running start there without being hit, you're in trouble. So Shinsky will tee it up as we now work in the dark here. What happened to the lights?
I don't know. I sort of like it because, boy, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, the
nice
screen's
TV
better.
Screen, everything.
But I'm even in more trouble trying to read the numbers off the program here. So another excuse as to why they're not going to be right. I don't know what happened to them. Ball goes short. Panther Valley will take it up to the 38-yard line of the Panthers. 35 on the carry there is Danny Thorpe. So the Panthers will take over and see what they can do offensively. They desperately need to move the ball a little bit, or they desperately need to give that defense a little bit of rest, is what's really going wrong there. Shook is now in the shotgun. And again, he's gonna
he's gonna be sore.
Lashinsky was all over him. Brown could be arrested for that hit if it wasn't on a football field. That's assault and battery any place without wearing a helmet.
Now, I'll tell you what, the quarterback's getting up a little bit slower each time. He is starting to, show that he has.
I don't know what would you call that offense. I'm not sure what that is. I've never seen it. You're not doing straight handoffs. You're
a lot of pitching.
You're pitching and you're dancing around there and you're leaving yourself wide open. It's not the option because he's not moving far enough for it to be an option. I'm not sure what they're calling this offense. Shook bobbles a little bit. He's under some extreme pressure from Brown. Intercepted. Matsura intercepts the ball at the Panther Valley. Let's see. We're going to have a late hit.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think it was, to tell you the truth.
And I'll tell you why, because the quarterback was under a lot of pressure that time, and he was actually releasing the ball when the defender was on top of him.
Yeah. I don't know if we see it or not. If we did see, I wasn't paying attention there, but I think what you're seeing also here is a refereeing staff that's starting to look out a little bit for Shook.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be shook before the end of this game with the hits he's been taking. So it's going to be a big penalty. It'll be 15 yards. More importantly, it will negate the Matsura interception and give the Panthers a 1st and 10 just over the midfield stripe at the Mount Carmel area 49-yard line. That was, I think, a temporary protection for Shook, though, as he's going to be black and blue in every spot, and then somebody didn't know he had before this thing's over. As he now comes down on a traditional option, but goes nowhere as Merarkey smothers him as he comes down the line.
Yeah, 29 Buggy was there. He was pushing Merarkey, trying to get him out of the way. So was Steve Matsura. They were all trying to get to the quarterback.
So they're going to lose yardage again, and they'll move the ball back into their own territory back at the we'll say the 49-yard line. It's in between the 48 and the 49. It'll be 2nd down and 12. And the Panthers have called a timeout on the field to regroup a little bit here. They have 1 timeout remaining. Take a moment here, Wayne. An old regular supper club guy is a little bit under the weather. Lou Walters hasn't been able to make supper club this year yet. And kind of feeling in the dumper a little bit for a couple of different reasons. We want to just say hello to him first, and we're thinking about him. We miss him at supper club. We miss him down in that familiar end of the table down there where we are. I can tell you exactly where he sat all the time. So we hope a speedy recovery for him. And of course, I know the Walters all my life, as far back as I can remember. Great bunch of people, really are, and just avid football fans. And I just extend my good feelings and good thoughts out to Lou, and hope he gets back real soon and get back at that end of the table again. All right, we'll line it up. 2nd and 12. Shotgun for Shook, and it's over. Matsura killed him.
Yeah. There was a great stunt in the middle of the line with Brown and Marshall Merarkey and Swank. They made some movement. It created a big gap for Matsura. Matsura just comes
Look how quickly this happens.
Yeah.
See, now you had Buggy there, and all Buggy could do was try to stand him up for Matsura to hit him.
He was trying to catch him. Yeah.
And Shook was trying to duck out of the way. Buggy is trying to hold him up. Matsura's driving a helmet into him. 3rd and 19 now for the Panthers here. That's a kind of a litany for them on offense so far this evening. As Shook is back in that shotgun formation, which is the safest place for him. He puts Kohler over in the slot, and he's going to look downfield. He's got some time this time, and he finds a receiver down over the midfield stripe now, back in the Mount Carmel area territory at the 47-yard line. And he found number 83 down there. Was Frank Maurer was his receiver. First time all night he had time to throw.
Yeah, he did. I think we sort of let up a little bit. We went back into a 4-man rush. In that case, there you see Brown getting up from the nose guard position. Marshall Morarki or Greco goes into the line. And Brown, it's sort of a soft pressure, him and Buggy from both sides. And everybody else drops back into a pass protection.
Panthers call another timeout. That's their final timeout here of the first half. And I'm looking over during the timeout, Wayne, and I'm looking at the crowd, and boy, it is a fabulous crowd. Oh, really a big Mount Carmel crowd here tonight. Very, very sparse on the Panthers side of the ball, but a big red contingent out here for this opening home game. And they're getting their money's worth out of this ball game right now as Mount Carmel area leads at 21-0 at the 3:16 mark of the second quarter. Beautiful night, too. No humidity. I mean, this is the second great night, second gorgeous night of the season for playing football. You see us in the huddle there. You do not get timeout shots like this anywhere else
that's for sure.
than you do here at MCA. WKMC TV in the huddle. All right, we're going to line this baby up. It's 4th down and 8 for the Panthers, and they're punting. Why they had to call a timeout to decide they were going to punt, I don't know. And here we have that odd kick, which he manages to keep in bounds, and he gets past Wargo. He should pick it up. He should pick it up and run with it, and he does. Wargo's going to bring it back out to about the 15-yard line, but he kind of let it get behind him. He left it go, and that's not what you want to do.
I don't know if Panther Valley, what their kicking team is supposed to be doing, their specialty team there, but there's twice now that we've seen that there was no pressure put on the ball to go down and down it. That ball did get behind the two receivers down there. And you think somebody, the offensive end or somebody would have been down there to down it. We've seen in the first quarter back here on the 40-yard line, they did the same thing when Lekavich picked it up and ran back, 9 yards.
You're exactly right, yes. Right up the middle goes Brown, and he's going to make it out to the 19. He drug, let's see who that was down there. He drug 73 down there, and that's Faust, and he's been a force on it, but you see the strength of Brown as Faust could not make him fall down. He picks up, he picked up 5 yards actually when he finally fell forward. So it's 2nd and 5, but that's the brute strength of Brown in the line of scrimmage. So Lashinsky now will go into that fullback spot, and we'll see what Coach Brennan has in store for us here. He'll keep a lone back in there as the fullback. And he's going to go straight back to pass. Again, it's a screen pass to Lashinsky.
Yep.
He's got himself a wall of blockers in front of him.
Nice move there.
And he's still chugging along there, up over the 35, up to the 38-yard line. Great run. Great run by Lashinsky.
Up the sidelines. I'll tell you what, he had some blockers. He had one guy hit him. You see the strength of Mike here. We noticed this even last year that, the defensive guy watched the first hit here, and he just shakes this kid off. Picks up another. Look at it right there.
Yeah,
keeps on going.
Right
keeps his balance. And he picks up another 7 yards.
Nice play by Lashinsky. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. We'll go back to pass. And this time he's going to be brought down under a heavy pass rush. Heavy pass rush down. The first guy really hit him was 83, and that was Maurer. But the group of them fall right after that. 82, Chris Raybold also in on that sack. The Red Tornadoes will now call timeout. It is going to be 2nd down, and we'll see where they finally place it down. But it's going to be ugly.
Almost 10.
It is ugly. It's 2nd down.
Or 20. I'm sorry.
2nd down, and I'll tell you, it was 18. They're going to call it here. We'll call it 18, but that was not a good-looking play. I'm not sure what we did there, but there was no line play on that one. Those are the ones you're going to wince at during the film session on Monday. You're going to want to cry when that one comes up.
And unfortunately, our TV crew picks all of that.
Oh, you don't miss any of it. No, that's the downside of it. They are one crack group as they move along the sideline. There's Jose, my main man down there taking the stats. He was there for French fries. You missed them.
No, I'm sorry.
But we will not hold that against you other than to make you pay next week. So, I mean, it's no big deal. Of course, the band boosters down there have the best food, which I can attest to since I've sampled my way through
Just
it.
about everything. Yes, you're right.
Once again, I'm back eating under the stands for another 8 or 9 times this year. Shinsky brings him up, and this will be an obvious pass play, and it is as he turns and looks. And it's incomplete. Matsura ran into the referee, ran smack dab into the referee, and the ball went incomplete. And Matsura at first turned around and wondered, was there a flag thrown for interference, only to find out that it was the referee who caused the interference. So 3rd and 18 now for the Red Tornadoes, and a tough break on that play. That was a short pass, but you remember from last year with Matsura, it doesn't matter where you get the ball in his hands because he's going to run with it. And that's really the real strength of him, is that he'll run the ball after he catches it. Shinsky looks around, fakes it, pumps it once, and sends it downfield. And it's intercepted down there by number 5, Kohler. Kohler makes a nice interception as he turns sideways, hits it with one arm, and then brings it in. So another turnover for the Red Tornadoes tonight in a sloppily played first half for the Red Tornado offense. It has not been exactly clicking along in all cylinders, although they are ahead 21-0. I know that Coach Brennan had hoped for a more smooth look tonight than he's getting so far. The Panthers take over in Red Tornado territory. Shotgun formation for Shook. And Brown all over Shook again, and it dropped it. They were trying to set up a screen down there, but it was dropped. He was in heavy traffic. I'm not sure he would have went very far, but Kohler just couldn't hang on to it. Kohler's the guy that just had the interception moments earlier, but he couldn't catch this one.
Leonovich was there, Lashinsky, Mike was there, and Marshall Maharkey there, standing right there with the receiver. And I think what happened was, hearing footsteps, he did turn his head to look downfield to see if anybody was coming even before he caught the ball.
This brings up 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. I'll be interested to see their offensive yardage here in the first half when we get the stats from Jose, because I'll bet you it's going to be brutal. Oh. Shook's looking to the sideline, then fakes it and slams it downfield, and he's well covered down there. Ledkavich was all over him, and we'll see the other guy getting up there, and that is Shikatano. So good defensive coverage that time by the Red Tornadoes to prevent the Parambo. Parambo was the other Parambo was down there under the ball. He threw a well-thrown ball.
Shikatano was there. He had him covered very well all the way down the sidelines.
Minute 29 remaining here in the first half of play. Brings up 3rd and 10 now for the Panthers. Who are those guys?
I have no clue.
Who are those guys? Whoever they are, they're even better looking than the guys last year, aren't they?
Oh, I had to pull my glasses down to see.
Shook back the pass. He's looking way downfield, and he's got a guy open, and he just couldn't get it to him. Stefanik was open, and he was trying to reach out there and couldn't get it. But he would have had a touchdown. It was a well-thrown ball.
So watch it. He turns around the receiver. Here it is here. He has a lot of time to throw the ball. It's a timing pass. It's thrown up in the air. The receiver's supposed to come down. But the receiver had twisted around slightly and lost his balance.
Brings up a 4th down. Parambo will be in the punt with his famous side-legged punt that he's going to do. I guarantee it's going to come over to the Mount Carmel area sideline. Oh, my goodness, he kicked it straight down the field the other way. There you go. I go guaranteeing things, and boom.
You stay away from Atlantic City this weekend, okay?
So it drops kind of dead there right in front of Ledkavich. They're talking about whether he should have picked it up or not. That's always kind of a good rule there. But down in the 5, that's either here nor there. So the Red Tornadoes will take over. There's all minute 14 remaining here, so probably did the right thing. Although, you're right, they do not go to the ball. They are not on top of the ball very quickly, and that's unusual.
It might be the case is they don't know where the ball's going either. That's true, too.
He fooled them like he did me on that one, because he was perfectly kicking them to the sideline every time. He kept thinking if you could catch it and get yourself to the far sideline. There was nobody there because they converge always to the sideline. All right, we hand it right off in the middle there. And that's the, let me see who got it there first. I believe it's
Brown.
Brown, yeah. I didn't see who he handed it off to, but Brown picks up some yardage down there. About 5 yards in the crack there. Brings up 2nd down and 5.
A safe play, down on the 4-yard line.
Well, you don't need to do anything here.
You don't have to do anything. Just hand the ball off and let Brown carry it right behind Skinner.
The Panthers can't stop the clock. They're out of timeouts. It's running down. The Red Tornadoes will be just as happy to go into the locker room with a 21-point lead here as they try to get straightened out in their lineup here. Shinsky snaps the ball and he pitches it out to Chickatano coming over to the Mount Carmel area sideline.
Good cut. Nice cut.
Nice cut and a game-saving tackle. Because if he had not tackled him, that was a touchdown. Great play by Chickatano as he made a nice play. And the game-saving tackle was Chris Parambo again. The two Parambo brothers. And Faust are pretty much the entire game right here for the Panthers of Panther Valley.
You can see that the quickness on Chickatano there. You get him to the outside, and he just exploded up through 2 defenders. They had no chance to even make the tackle on him.
So the timeout is on the Red Tornadoes side of the ball. They have 1 left. Ball sitting at the Mount Carmel area 28-yard line where it's 1st and 10. So a little bit different offense from a new coach here. We have not seen the Panthers play this offense before. It's a very odd offense in that they don't run the ball much. And maybe they don't think they can, but you leave without a traditional kind of I formation or a split backfield or whatever. They don't do that. They leave the quarterback wide open for some really vicious hits. Send it down to Wargo on a sideline. A nice pass by Shinsky to Wargo, and Wargo steps out, stopping the clock up at the Mount Carmel area 42-yard line where it's another 1st down. Pretty pass.
Exactly correct. And we said that's what Dave is. He's excellent at that. A little short, 5-10 yards down, cut to the outside, and he lays it right there that, it's that fingertip. He's, the receiver's going to catch it, and he's going to keep his feet in bounds.
The Red Tornadoes trying to put something back on the board here in the last couple of seconds of the first half. Brings Matsur in motion towards us. Drops straight back, looks downfield, plenty of time. He's got Buggy down there to tight end, and the tight end, boy, look at him. Look at that run.
Great run.
Damian Buggy down to the Panther 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Carrying 3 guys that way. I'll tell you what, makes a catch like that, gets hit as soon as he catches the ball, breaks that tackle, carries 3 guys for an extra 10 yards. What more can you ask?
That's as good as it gets. The big tight end just plows across the middle, murdering everybody in his path as he goes downfield. That is pretty.
Good time, good amount of time for Dave. The offensive line, Swank and and the crew to center that line. Joe Daukus, number 72, 56, Rich Greco, 79, John Skinner, and Marshall Merarkey, the interior of that line, just giving Dave more than enough time. Dave sits back in the pocket. He relaxed now and, release the ball. Great pass, great catch.
So the final timeout here of the second quarter, and the Red Tornadoes will now have one last shot or so. There's 18 seconds left, and we might see Shinsky hit for the end zone here maybe.
Well, they might have, he could get 2 plays.
Probably 2 plays depending on what they do.
Might try to get it down a little bit closer, a little sideline flat pass.
Signaling out the Wargo there. He's in the shotgun. He's got plenty of time. He's looking all over, plenty of time. Now moving. Now he's going to run the ball, and he's going to run it out of bounds, and he does.
And he does.
So that play leaves 8 seconds, about a 10-second play. He takes it down, and we'll see. He was right at the first down marker. I don't know if he got out of it or not. We'll see what happens. It doesn't matter. It's second down coming up if he didn't.
Good play by Dave, and exactly. Panther Valley's only rushing 3 men. And everybody else is back in the pass pattern, back in their zones, taking up all the room on the defensive end of the field. Dave did have a lot of time there, and did the right thing. Everybody was covered, tucked the ball underneath, took it out of bounds.
Okay, now this is the last play. I do not see us doing anything less than 8 seconds, do you?
Hey, I'm not going with you, boy. You called the last punt.
After that punt went
I'm
sour
sorry.
on me there.
Don't look to me for help.
Shinsky back to pass. He looks for Wargo, and Wargo splits him and into the end zone. He did it with 8 seconds left in the second quarter. The Red Tornadoes strike once again on a Shinsky to Wargo, 26-yard touchdown pass, and Wargo made a pretty play at the end there to win the end zone.
Yeah, you sort of look at Wargo to step out of bounds there, save some time, but he turns it. Great block by Matsur,
really
21, and that's what set that play up. Wargo cuts behind Matsur and for the extra 10 yards and plows into the end zone.
So Kufta will line up for the point after. It's 27-0. There's 1 second left on the clock. He kicks it through. It's good. So Mount Carmel area now 28, the Panthers 0, and there's 1 second left, so we're going to have to kick off. And I believe the Panthers are sorry that's happening because truly I think, Wargo made a nice play, but the kid down there, I don't know what he was doing when he tried to tackle him because he went right through him. He wasn't even didn't have his head up. And they're looking now, they're kind of dragging around now like they're beaten. I don't believe it's going to take long to send this into the mercy rule in the second half here. The Tornadoes have their way with them.
The problem is they're probably sitting there looking that they could have held us out for this end of the half. Kept the score a little bit closer.
Yeah.
At least a little bit of pride going in that the defense is stepping up.
All right, we'll line this kickoff. There'll be kickoff, and wherever the return ends up, and that'll be the end of the half here as everybody else is streaming down to the Band Boosters food stand underneath us here. I can suggest that they listen to me, try the fries.
They listen to you, they'll be trying everything.
Well, if you don't listen to a guy that looks like me about food, there's something wrong with you. Short kickoff. It'll go short. It'll be brought down to the 41-yard line of the Panthers where the end of the first half of play will occur. Quintero once again down on that coverage along with Leonovich. And the Red Tornadoes will head to the locker room for halftime, leading the Panthers of Panther Valley 28-0. And, of course, momentarily we will give you the first half stats according to our main man, Jose Gonzalo. Stick with us. Okay, gang, we're back here at halftime. We actually have the camera on us at halftime, which is a scary moment indeed for us all. But we'll get the halftime stats, according to Jose, from Wayne, who does the running down to get them.
Yes, I run down every, halftime here, beat the crowd and everything else. And I just can't wait for Pottsville because Pottsville, that's like a mile and a half because we're up on top of the press box on the roof to begin with.
I once slept over at Pottsville on a halftime run.
There was one, you actually missed the second half.
I know I did. I wasn't kidding.
Okay, in the rushing department, the Tornadoes, 19 attempts, 83 yards. We had, a slew of people carrying the ball. Brown, 5 for 26. Kovaleski, 3 for 23. Shikatano, 5 for 18. Matsur, 1 for 2. Lashinsky, 1 for 12. And Letkavich, 1 for 7. In the first down department, we have 12. So we're moving the ball, by a number of different ball carriers in both games. I think last week in the first half we had 6 different people touch the football.
Yeah.
In the passing department, 10 of 19 for 178 yards.
Oh, nice yardage.
Dara, 3 for 28 yards. Wargo, 3 for 53. Matsur, 2 for 56. Buggy, 1 for 23. And Lashinsky on the screen pass, 1 for 18 yards. Dave Shinsky in the first half had passed for over 4,000 yards in his career up to this point.
Right.
Mike Higgins is the number one passer in the school history, 5,100 yards. And Jose thinks by the end of the season, that position just might change. On the Panther Valley side, though, in the rushing department, attempted to carry the ball 12 times. For minus yardage, 29 yards. In the passing, 3 of 13 for 23 yards, 2 first downs.
Well, those Panther Valley statistics are just as ugly as that offense looked.
Yeah.
It really did. Now, what you did notice if you look at the stats a little bit, although I thought we were struggling a little bit offensively carrying the ball, really we did pretty well, 83 yards in the first half. 178 yards passing. So offensively, maybe not as poorly. It just looks like it's a shabby kind of game for us a little bit. But a lot of times, a team like Panther Valley will do that to you.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? And that's
when we were down there talking, you always get the scoop from Jose when you're down there,
Yeah.
and we were saying it's completely a different game from last week. Last week you're going against Pius X, who's ranked year in year out in the playoffs, and you get up for that game. In this game here, like we said, the kids are not playing with the keyed up emotion that they came out on the field with last week, and that does make a big difference. All you need is a Faust on the other side of the field playing one good game, and he sort of slows your offense down a little bit. You might be making all the key blocks, but there's always just that one person. If you take a look at some of the runs that Chicatano had in the first quarter, it was Faust around his ankles each time.
Yeah.
Faust is playing a good game. And we're not playing with that high intensity that we should be playing with at this point in time. You can't blame the kids for that, though.
Yeah, I mean, we look at it, and it's much easier for us to look at it and say it was a sloppy game or was an uninspired game. But, I mean, the bottom line is you're up 28-0 at halftime, right. So how uninspired could you be? So you're right. I mean, that's probably a mistake to say it that way. It's a natural reaction just from fans watching, and nobody's bigger fans than me and you. But I guess you're playing to the caliber of the competition. That's basically what you're saying, and that's what we're doing. Shinsky will open up that second half of play now as he kicks off down to the Panthers, and it goes to one of the short guys, and that's Parambo, number 12. And Parambo will pile up over the 25-yard line to the 27-yard line of the Panthers, where it'll be 1st and 10, Panther Valley.
But, and we were down, and like Jose said, but what a great series of downs we had in the last 38 seconds to push that ball across. We did everything we had to do, got the ball out of bounds, killed the clock, saved the timeout, and finally scored.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Oh, goodness. Shook starts out where he left off. He gets it to Kohler. Kohler gets mashed, gains about a yard, but Shook is mangled once again. And Shook is just taking, it's just unbelievable. He's 5'10", 155-pound sophomore, Wayne. I mean, it's brutal what's happening to him out there.
And it is tough. It's got to be frustrating for him, too, also. You have Brown, you have Buggy on the other side who keeps on releasing, and Swank. Swank, had him in the grass when and it's not even quite like it's not like a pitch. It's just like a shovel. Here you go.
More like a shovel than it is anything. All right, Shook is back to pass again. This time a little bit better protection, but he does not get the ball caught. He got it down to 28 down there, Stefanik, but he dropped it. Basically had a nice pass to him. He just didn't get it. So it brings up a third down now. Say third down and 8, a long 8. Panthers have been in a third down situation almost continuously from the beginning of this ball game. This time we're going to try a reverse, and we get the reverse rolling, but it doesn't roll very far as Buggy completely sends it into the ground. Parambo was trying to get around the end, but Buggy never left. It'll bring up 4th down now and 8 with no gain on that play. And the Panthers once again will punt. And the other Parambo of the two Parambo brothers there, 3 and 12. Now 12 will be back to punt, and we'll see if he fools me on how he punts on this one, because he should be punting over towards the Panther Valley sideline. And he did again. So he didn't fool me that time as Wergo picks it up right along the sideline. Dances along, nifty little move as he hurdles a guy down along the Panther bench there. And he's in Panther Valley territory, but it's 1st and 10. Mount Carmel area from the Panther 41-yard line. Nice play by Wergo as he gets up in the air there along the sideline.
Yeah, twice. He hopped over one guy in about the 50-yard line, tried it again, and about the 42, 43-yard line. And, almost broke it. The guy reached up, and he just grabbed his ankle.
All right, Shinsky will bring him up, split backfield. Brings Matsur towards us. And he pitches it out to Chicatano, who's going to try to get over the end. He makes a nice cut inside. and chugs down to the 37-yard line. Bring up a second down at about 6.
Jerry Lepotsky, number 50, leading right here in front. Chickatano waits until he passes in front and tries to cut in back of him.
Second down and 7 now for the Red Tornadoes in Panther territory, where they've spent the bulk of their evening tonight. Shinsky brings him up. He's got the standard power eye now with the big guy, Brown. Going to pitch it to Chickatano and go the other way. Brown with a nifty block. Chickatano's around, and you're not catching him. It's a touchdown. Nice play by Chickatano, a 37-yard run, but Brown was the guy that set it up. We see this on the replay. You can catch Brown if you see him. Watch the block he makes to set this up. Now we're on the far side. There it is there. You can see Brown, see the guy rolling there. He sprung him for the touchdown, and then it was Damian Chickatano, pure speed along the sideline for the Red Tornadoes. Kufta's in to attempt the extra point. And the real significance of this extra point will be that it will send us into the mercy roll. So hopefully he makes it and put Panthers out of their misery a little earlier. It's up and it is good. So now at the 9:40 mark of the third quarter, Mount Carmel area out to a 35-0 lead. And now the mercy rule will be invoked in Pennsylvania high school football. And what that means is, except for extraordinary circumstances, the clock will continue to run all the time. And one of the things that people ask a lot of times is, what if the Panthers score and the 35-point bulge disappears? It doesn't matter. Once a 35-point lead is reached, the mercy rule will stay in effect for the remainder of the football game. It doesn't matter how close you get. It's still going to be in force. So the game should go much quicker here in the second half than it did in the first half. You're hearing the announcement now. The referee has signaled the clock up in here in the press box that it should begin using the mercy rule and the regulations that are attached to that. So Shinsky has it teed up there, and he'll look to kick off to the Panthers. Nice kick. Takes it down to about the 7-yard line where the Panthers take it and head upfield. And that's number 28 on the carry, Stefanik. And he's brought down in there by
Matsura and number 1, Quintero.
Quintero, yeah. 55 was close there. Dan Evans was in there too. Quintero, quite a force on the special teams now, isn't he? He's all over the place. You know, and every year, it seems you get one guy that stands out on special teams like that. It looks like this is the year for number 1, Dave Quintero. All right, Shook is going to keep the ball on an actual real option, and he's now thinking that maybe he shouldn't have, as he's buried in there by Merarkey and Brown and a host of other guys. Leonovich.
Number 75, John Aremic, is in now in the tackle position.
Remember Aremic from that horrendous hit he put on the quarterback last week.
I'll tell you what, last week he got in there and he played a very good game. There's somebody that you have someone go down. He doesn't hurt you getting in this game where he's at.
Absolutely not. He's a senior, 285 pounds, so he's bringing something to the game there. Shook now back to pass. He's being chased by Lashinsky. He gets the pass off, and it's complete.
I don't know how he did. He
got it to 83 down there. That was a nice catch down there by 83, Frank Maurer, but he's also short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Mike was on him and actually coming over with his arm to try to swat the quarterback's arm. I don't know how the quarterback got that ball off.
So a rare 3rd and short yardage situation here for the Panthers. Panther Valley, of course, located in the Lansford area, up in the upper end of the coal region. And Shook's got him lined up now with one guy in the backfield. And the quarterback sneaks in. He didn't.
Nope.
Well, let me see. I don't want to say no. I want to see what they give him his forward progress, because he took a step and they pulled him back. But if you take a look at just from the angle, I don't think he got it. Aremic was on the hit. And let me see where they're looking at it. It's 4th down. You're right, Wayne. He did not get it. He missed it by a couple of inches. And now the Panthers have a decision to make. It's 35-0. I mean, if there's a shot at doing this, now's the time. And here you see the quarterback sneak. Is what you're looking at there. You see he never got his head over that marker. So a good call by the refs and nice call by the camera. And he didn't get it this time either. In fact, he lost yardage, I think. We'll see where they give it to him. And
look at
I don't think he got it.
Nope.
I mean, if they give it to him, they give it to him. But he didn't get it on his own. I'm telling you right now, he did not cross. They give it to him, but he did not cross the line of scrimmage. I'm sorry. So first down now for the Panthers. And again, I mean, I think we're seeing some sympathy even from the refereeing staff on that one. But the ball's sitting down at the 34-yard line of the Panthers as they start now with a fresh set of downs.
Jerry Lepotsky, number 50, in the right tackle position.
Shook hands it off right in the middle. It goes absolutely nowhere. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. And you're seeing Marshall Markey and Leonovich and Brown getting off that pile down there. Lashinsky walking around the whole group. And here you can see it goes nowhere. Brown, the initial hit. Brown is the guy that made the penetration and actually brought him down.
He's having one heck of a game.
Oh, he's having a whale of a football game. My goodness, Dave Brown. And I mean, he's the kind of guy that sneaks up on you a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't think about it for a little bit, then all of a sudden you keep saying his name and his name and his name, and he's all over the place. Nice play by the Panthers. Red Tornadoes caught off guard as Parambo snuck out of the backfield onto the flat. He was completely unattended. Nobody covered him. It's a first down. Here you see him.
Blitz coming from the left side. And take a look at
there's Matsura came out. Yeah, look how wide open he is. No one is there until he runs into Letkavich at the very end down there in Dara. But that was a nice offensive play by the Panthers. And that was vacated by the Matsura blitz. We brought the linebacker and left the flat open because of it. So 1st and 10 Panthers. Shotgun formation. Shook's got plenty of time. He looks downfield and Matsura just laid a pad on Parambo. Bring up a 2nd and 10 now on the incompletion. And take a look at the hit here. The ball's a little bit high, and that's the last thing you want to do is put the ball high in that area where he was.
Yep.
And you see him reach up, and there's the hit by Matsura.
That Hoyt's coming down, I'll tell you.
Matsura can hurt you.
It's just a blind shot, and it's a linebacker's dream, those kind of passes,
Yeah, Matsura is just so tough. Got a blitz on now from Lashinsky. Oh, goodness.
I think 5 guys hit him.
Gracious, look at the hit, Shook Tuck. Oh, my goodness.
Lashinsky just put his head down and leveled him. That was bad.
That was painful to watch. I mean, folks, that was painful to watch. He could get hit as hard as he just got hit. He had trouble getting up, but my goodness, he's a trooper now. He's wandering off to the sideline there. It's 3rd down, and he's going to come out of the game. Yeah, that was just – no, he's not. He's just getting directions there. I think he's asking where the bus is. What a hit. This is one tough kid. I got to give the sophomore a lot of credit. I mean, we saw the quarterback last week get hit, which we thought was a horrendous amount of times.
Yeah.
But this guy, he surpassed anything that we've seen so far, and he comes up to the line of scrimmage every play. So Nate Shook, the sophomore, impressive with his toughness. I don't want to be him tomorrow morning. As he looks downfield again in the pass, and he's got Parambo.
Matsura almost.
Yeah, Matsura all over it and nearly intercepted it. He had Letkavich for help there. It'll bring up 4th down now for the Panthers and 10. 4:03 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and you can see how quickly the clock begins to run with the mercy rule in effect. It's like lightning. So,
and see, the problem here for the Panthers is that there's so much of a amount of pressure on the quarterback when he's back to passes that they're only allowed to put 2 receivers out in the pattern. That time a crossing pattern, one to the outside, number 83 to tight end, and the split end crosses over and went into the center.
Yeah. We have a timeout on the field. Panther Valley has taken its first timeout. This is going to give me a chance to talk about something really special here. Last night at Supper Club, Mike Shue, and Mike's been in and out of Supper Club. He lives not quite in town here anymore, so he doesn't make all of them, but he does get into the Supper Club. And brought to my attention something that I think is absolutely fantastic. Mike tapes the Wednesday night games. packages them up, and he sends them to Germany. He sends them to Germany, gang. And he does that because Kurt Everett and John Wenrick, two finest here from Mount Carmel, of course, were called up in the National Guard call-up from Pennsylvania and have been sent to Germany in this terrorism alert. And I can't think of anything better. They wait for that tape. They have made it clear to all their friends, no one can email them the score. They don't look at the internet. They don't do anything. They don't want to know who wins the game. They want to wait for the thing. The thing gets there on the following Saturday. Finishes as Lashinsky's all over them, and they'll turn the ball over. 1st and 10, Big Red. But back to the story. There's 2 guys in the National Guard, called up from the area here and serving their country at such a difficult moment in time. We could not be prouder of those 2 guys, and I'm sure all the guys over there with them, all their friends that watch this game with them. So a big hello to them. A big good luck. Stay safe. Right. Everybody's with you in our hearts here. And thank you for everything you guys do for us. Absolutely. For sure, absolutely. I mean, we're sleeping better at night because you guys are over there, and that's the fact of life. And we don't get a chance to be able to say we appreciate it, but here we are, and we do say it on behalf of everybody here in the Mount Carmel Area School District and our viewing audience. So good luck, guys, and keep watching. Hopefully you get to watch 15 games this season. All right, Shinsky back to pass on a 1st down. He heads down there. He finds number 28 for the Red Tornadoes, Nate Morgan. And Morgan takes it inside the 35-yard line to the 34, where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Little hook pass to the outside. Nate Morgan hooks up, receives, catches the pass, and he turns back to the inside of the field, which is a good move. You always have that tendency. You have to make sure of where your defender is. If he's on the inside or the outside, and the defender was on the outside that time, Nate Morgan turns to the inside and picks up an extra few yards.
And a ball off to Kovaleski. Kovaleski squirts to the outside. Matsura with a fabulous block. And Kovaleski into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Tornadoes on a 34-yard run by number 30, Mark Kovaleski of the Red Tornadoes.
And again, the workhorse there. Take a look at the block. Dave Brown, the blocking fullback. Yep. And, if anybody's going to do anything, it's got to be him. He's got to kick out on the end and let that tailback cut to the inside and then back to the outside.
Matsura sealed the linebacker as he came around. Matsura had a great, and it was a shield block that he held long enough, and you saw Kovaleski's speed take over after that. As Kovaleski, again, one of the speed guys in the backfield along with Chicatano, they'll hurt you with their speed. And just like that, with 2:25 remaining in here, in the third quarter, just in the third quarter, it is Mount Carmel area 42. The Panthers of Panther Valley 0. And a nice set of downs for the Red Tornadoes.
Oh, yeah, great. But, again, look at the speed of Kovaleski. When Kovaleski comes in, dips in, and then back out to the outside and showing your speed and leaving everybody behind. Some great running by both of those boys, Chicatano and Kovaleski, doing a great job.
Yeah, I think we look a lot. I'm not sure what the Panthers are doing defensively now, but I think we look a lot more crisp, a lot sharper, a lot more focused here. Just in the first part of this second half here, as the third quarter winds down. I think the running game is clicking. The passing game moves along a little better. And unfortunately, I think the Panthers are probably kind of wore out. I think the Panthers are trying to get home to Lansford and put this thing behind them at a 42-0 already.
And again, here it is. You come out the first half, play the first half, a little unemotional. And then you go into at halftime over there into the field house. Yeah. And I'm sure a couple helmets were flying and everything else. And take a look at what happens. You come out and you play a different game the second half.
Well, no, I got in defense of Coach Brennan. Apparently he's the new kinder, gentler Coach Brennan this year from what he's told me.
Oh, really?
That's what he told me.
He told you that?
He told me that, yes. Okay. Ball was kind of fumbled around there, and there it's finally picked up. He's brought down hard at the 21-yard line down there by, see who gets off that Pollard, because I saw number 66 for the Red Tornadoes made the big stop. That's John Novak. So the Panthers will take over 1st and 10 down at their own 21-yard line, and you'll begin to see many, many different jerseys floating through this lineup here, especially as we go on offense. There's 2:09 remaining here in the third quarter.
Defensively, we're still solid. We have everybody in there that...
that went nowhere. Gain of about a half yard on the play. It'll bring up... it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. I don't even think that was a half yard when it gets placed back down. So
That was a straight dive. I guess they're trying to
Well, I mean,
push the fact on
they've got to work.
Swank and Brown.
And they've got to work on some things themselves.
Sure.
I mean, they got a long season ahead of them, so obviously they got to run that offense and see what's going to work for them and get some practice in here. I mean, that they're pretty sure they're not going to win any longer, but their kids are not going to give up. So Shook takes that pass. He looks back. He's got Swank all over him. And Swank caused the ball to go very high, but it's a good thing because had he thrown it where he wanted to, Buggy would have taken it in the end zone because Buggy was covering Kohler, which looked like a screen coming up there, but it just blew apart on him.
And you could see Brown. If you take a look at what Brown was doing that time, he saw the rush, that he was left go, not even touched. He released from putting pressure on the quarterback and was looking back to see where the receivers and the blockers are at and trying to get himself back into position again.
So it brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers. They Shook a lineup in that shotgun now. Keeps one guy in the backfield. And he's looking downfield again, heavy pressure. Gets his receiver now. And his receiver will not get the first down as he takes it down to about the 27-yard line, or up to the 27-yard line.
Nate Morgan, number 28, getting up off the pile there. 56, Greco.
There's a flag. Is there a flag on the play somewhere? It's on the far side if there is. I believe there is a flag.
It's right in the middle of the field there.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. There it is. So we got a flag on the play. We'll wait and see. They're talking to the Red Tornadoes here a minute, and it's going to go against the Panthers. And that's certainly the last thing they could have imagined they wanted to happen to them, as the ball now is going to march back to the 15-yard line or so where they'll place it. It'll bring up 3rd down again, except now it's going to be 3rd down and, oh, goodness, not. They're going to place it down at the inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So the ball back at the 7-yard line, and now brings up a 3rd and 20 for the Panthers from their own 7-yard line. And it just could not go worse for this group of kids here wearing the gold and black. Shook will bring them up. He's under center, and he's just going to hand the ball up, pitch it to Kohler as they continue to try to get Kohler outside the Red Tornado container. They don't. He's chased down there by Swank and Matsura and Merarkey. So that'll bring up a 4th down now, and Parambo will have to go into punt formation for the Panthers. And I believe when we take the ball over on offense, we will see a new offensive unit on the field, from what I can tell from the action on the sideline. And here you see, as I said, so many new faces have wandered onto the field here as we go back to accept the punt. Now Wargo and Letkavich are still in there. And we'll see who else. There's a couple of guys. 24 is in the ball game for the Red Tornadoes. That's Trey Savitsky. He might be a regular. I shouldn't say we. No, he don't look like we substituted any right now. They're regulars for the punt. We'll do that on offense on the first series, it looks like. So they're back in Parambo, and it goes nearly. Parambo juggles it, and he fumbled it, which would have been a touchdown. Instead of the safety, it's a touchdown.
Now there's a flag on the play.
There was a flag during the play. Marshall Merarkey comes up. I don't know what the heck he was thinking. Bottom line, he should have just stepped out of the end zone.
Right.
He tried running it. He bobbled it. It went up in the air. The motion penalty is against the Panthers. The Red Tornadoes deny it. And if anything else could possibly go wrong for the Panthers, I at this point do not know what it is. That was horrible. Oh my goodness, that was horrible. It's 48-0. Now we still got 11:50 to play in this ball game. Kufta will attempt the extra point, but just poor judgment there that time. He should have just stepped out. But when things are going so wrong, it's easy to say you should just do something. I mean, he did what he thought was best. Kufta pops it up, and Kufta's perfect, yes. I might add, for the evening, Wayne. And you will enjoy that about him.
I really do. You take a look at the 2 scrimmages, and everybody was sort of concerned about the extra points. Nobody could do whatever was needed. And now all of a sudden, Kufta comes up, and, and I'll tell you what, if you take a look at Kufta, he's taking his time, he's concentrating, and he has a very good follow-through. It's not going deep.
Yeah.
who cares how deep it goes?
Right.
As long as he follows through and the ball goes through the uprights, it's a point each time.
Yeah, he looks very good.
And that is the difference in a lot of ball games, and it's the extra point.
All right, we're going to line up to kick this off again. It seems like we've done that a lot with the score 49-0 now with 11:50 still remaining to be played. Excuse me. Shikatana comes off, and we have substituted now to the point where Rick Lichko, number 12, is lining up to do the kickoff. That's Rick Lichko, number 12, will do the kickoff duties here for the Red Tornadoes, and there is a let's see, it looks like the regular kickoff team is still sitting in there.
Pretty much. 66, yeah. John Novak is in there. 83, Sean Fracolosi, he's in there.
Lichko gets it high. I mean, high. Quintero tackled him, and unfortunately, Quintero's the human bullet on the special teams, and he's saying to his partner, "Hey, I didn't see him wave his arm up there.
I did not.
I didn't see that." No, so Coach Brennan has his arm around, telling him, "Look, okay, Dave, when that arm goes up, you can't mac him because they're going to give you a penalty." Again, Quintero, you can't take anything away from that guy. He is just Johnny on the spot. On kickoff coverage, he really is. It's good to see a coach pull a guy over, though. Just put an arm around him and tell him, hey, this is what happened. And quite frankly, I didn't see him raise his hand either.
I didn't either.
I was watching. I didn't see him do it. Now, he did, obviously, but I'm glad because sometimes you can hurt a guy, when he's not waiting. But although he was watching Quintero come at him, and he did get into the flinch position before it happened. Kohler on the carry for the Panthers, and
82
he's lost yardage.
82 making a tackle, Brian Polifka. We have number 77, Scott Novak is in there. Number 51, Adam Croker.
51, I'm sorry. Pulling my mic here. 51's the guy you want to watch.
Yes.
He's a guy with size. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 210 pounds. He's a guy that could be a force through this season to get some JV experience into him, get some playing time. He's a guy you want to keep your eye on a little bit, just from the size alone, just from the look about him. He just looks like it. You got 75 down there, Emmerich. Of course, we talked about him, the senior, and we already know what he can do. We saw that last week.
55, Dan Evans is in.
Kohler, and there you see the speed I talked about. Kohler finally gets around the end, picks up some good yardage, and Kohler is the speed guy.
Knocking him out of bounds that time was Josh Jaworski, number 81, the defensive end.
Jaworski, a 5'9" sophomore, 150 pounds.
34, Dave Sebastian goes in.
Dave was with us at Supper Club last night, one of our guests. Good to see him in the game. I got his big number 1, Quintero, off the field. Quintero's a sophomore, also 5'8", 135 pounds. Give that little quick pitch this time, and the Panthers are trying to get around the side. Again, that's Kohler. And you can see the new turf. One of the things we're seeing in the new turf is that it's slightly slippery to cut on. And what that really is for the Red Tornadoes, it's a matter of getting used to it. And they practice on it on a Thursday. They'll get used to it. The opposing team, you can see, when they try to stop and cut, it's so lush and thick that your cleat isn't getting into the dirt like it used to. It's actually just on the grass, and you end up sliding it. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Panthers. There's 9:22 remaining in the game, and they are heading towards the end zone slowly but surely here as Shook takes the handoff, and he does that same pitch again to Kohler. And Kohler this time is going to be brought down. Nice play inside there as he gets around the corner. We'll see the guy getting off that pile in a minute. I think it's 24.
24,
right?
Trey Savitsky. And number 59, the middle linebacker is Nick Chapman. He gets up off the pile that time also.
Take a look at this, and I'll tell you what happens with. Look at Shook here. Oh, I mean, it just. Oh my goodness. That's Dan Evans taking care of Shook, or is it 65 or 55?
55. That was Dan
55,
Evans.
He's the crew's telling me in my headphone he's a wrestler. I think we could tell that from the move he put on Shook there. He can usually find a wrestler in a crowd anytime. So a 5-yard penalty going to ensue here on the Panthers. It's going to bring up a second down now, and second down and 12. Ball sitting down at the Mount Carmel area, 24-yard line. The Panthers have about 8 minutes and 28 seconds to do something here and get it in the end zone. Shook again, hands off to Kohler right up the middle.
Nice.
It's a 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball's on the 13-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. As Shook is in shotgun formation. He'll do that. Oh,
Fumble.
He put the ball on the ground that time. And I'll be truth with you, I'm not going to say anything one way or the other about that. Shook has been hit so many different times, and that time he just kind of short-armed it. If you take a look what he does with it, he just kind of short-arms it around.
I think it's actually slipped out of his hands. Number 89 playing the defensive end position was Jason Politsky, putting the pressure on him. And a quarterback with that much pressure from that side over there, he did try to pitch it a little bit sooner. You want to try to get the ball and everything else for a good pitch, and he had to release it a little bit quicker than when he wanted it.
All right, Shook back to pass under a lot of pressure. He screen passing it out to number 3 down there for the Panthers, and he's going to take it down to about the 11-yard line. Number 51 for the Red down there, Adam Croker on the stop.
Number 28, Nate Morgan also coming over from the corner position to make the tackle.
Third down and 8. Ball on the 11. Panthers are threatening. Shotgun formation for Shook. He's looking around and he loops Kohler out, and I believe that Kohler's going to catch the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Panther Valley. The Panther touchdown coming at the 5:38 mark of the quarter. A short 11-yard swing pass from Shook to Kohler, and there you see it, led him perfectly. Gets outside the Red Tornado contain, and with his speed puts it into the corner of the end zone, and the Panthers are finally on the board here tonight and will avoid being whitewashed. They're going to go for 2 as Shook lines up, and we'll see what they do for 2 as he looks in there and he gets 2. That's Parambo on the other end of the catch. So now, ladies and gentlemen, with the score 49-8 in favor of the Red Tornadoes with 5:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play, I'm going to take a moment here to talk about tonight's crew behind the scenes. And I'm going to talk a little bit about them later on, too. The directors are Josh Yeager and Joe Gushin, and they, as I talked about last week, they alternate halves. Everybody in this crew, from the first half to the second half, takes a different assignment. They all rotate around the assignment. On the cameras, of course, we have one of our veterans, Krister Petroskevich. We have Steve Sakaitis, Paul Frouts, another veteran, Amy Hampton. Of course, Amy's been here about 20 years now.
I think she's on a pension plan.
Yeah, she's getting ready for retirement. Still photography tonight is Dave Else. And the cable grips, the real unsung heroes of this group tonight are Kevin Bush, Scotty Bullock, and Alyssa Swartz. And I'll tell you what, you don't want to be those people and lugging the cable all over the place. They have the real dirt job in this crew. And there aren't any really good jobs in this crew, so when you have the bad one, you're really in trouble. But our hats go off to them. I'm going to talk a little bit about them at the end of the game here before we sign off. Panthers are getting ready to kick off, and other than starting the first half, this is the only kickoff they've had. Number 42 does the kicking duties for them, and that's Tony, as I said in the beginning of the game, Zuzu. And he dribbles it down there, and it's picked up by Quintero. And Quintero's going to take it up over the 40-yard line. They'll stop his forward motion at about the 42-yard line. Just a second. I think, Wayne, I think that Quintero kid is the kid we're going to be talking about in a couple of years here.
Well, you know what?
The 2 years he has left.
I looking here, and this is a new name to us, Quintero.
Yeah,
You know, and this has to be his first year that he's playing up here. And sophomore, Dave Quintero, 5'8", 135 pounds.
Yep.
You know, not much weight, but I'll tell you what, the quickness, and that's what you need, the quickness and the desire when you have that size. And that's what gets you on a special team. That's what gets you the play. You know, he has the quickness to get down the field, and then when he gets down there, you know, he just has that tenacity that he puts his head down and he's going to bowl somebody over.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
he doesn't shy away from that hit. I'm going to tell you that now. I mean, my goodness, he's a bullet. But we hadn't seen him carry the ball much, you know, and there he brings the ball upfield, and I'll tell you what, he sticks his head down there and he'll knock into you. He doesn't care. So I said, I think we're going to be saying his name throughout this season and the next two after it. All right, Sosnowski to quarterback, and he brings him up. He's going to hand it off to Savitsky. Savitsky's trying to get outside, and he takes it up to the 45-yard line. Gain at 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Red Tornadoes.
Number 80, the blocking fullback there, Rodney Burcheski, sophomore, 5'9", 190 pounds. And I'll tell you, he's a neighbor of mine. And I'll tell you what, you could see how much he worked out also during the summer and the off season. He really bulked up, and you know, now he's getting he's getting some experience here.
This time we pitch it to him, he drops it. It was a tough pitch for him.
It went to 24, Trey Savitsky, and a little behind him a little bit.
73, Jimmy Faust, the guy we had called how many times, recovers the fumble, and the Panthers are back in business here inside Red Tornado territory at the Red Tornado 39-yard line. Now, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen some different faces on the Panthers. They don't have a giant squad over there. I'll give them that, but I would think we would have saw some other kids getting in the game here towards the end, and there might be a couple, but I can't really tell the difference. The same quarterback is still here, Shook. And he does that same little pitch to Kohler, and Kohler's trying to get on the outside, and he's not going to do it. He's brought down in there by, let me see who comes up off that, 59. That's big number 59, Nick Chapman. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 190-pounder. He takes Kohler down. Gaining 3 yards on a play.
Playing the left tackle over here is number 70, Sean Paul. He's a junior, 5'10", 175. Number 12 is playing the corner, Rick Litchko.
Under 4 minutes to play now here in the football game, as Shook will look down the field down there, and he finds his receiver short of the first down, and that's a mistake that Parambo, who is a veteran, shouldn't be making. He should have known where that yard marker was, and he didn't. It brings up 3rd down and about 1, but he could have easily went the extra yard for the first down. I don't think he knew where he was on the field. And that, you know, that's field presence there. That's what you're hoping they have. He's a sophomore. He was the younger of the 2 Parambo brothers there, so we'll give him some time.
Straight dive this time over the right tackle. Brought down by number 81, Josh Jaworski. He's playing a sort of safety, strong safety, free safety position.
I mean, these are pretty much the starters for the Panthers, and I've questioned this always. I'll continue to question this with 3 minutes left in the game. Why the heck are you playing your starters unless there's absolutely no one else left? Parambo on the carry, on the initial stop down there, getting off that pile is going to be on Turner's 82. And that's Brian Polifka.
Yeah, Brian made a good play right there.
All right, Quintero runs off there. 2:36 remaining. Ball's on the 14-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, where it's 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers.
Number 11, Derek Lepotsky, in playing the corner on this left-hand side.
All right, we got everybody moving over here towards the Red Tornado bench, and it's Shook on a keeper. Shook gets inside the 10-yard line down to about the 7-yard line. Not enough for the first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 1 yard.
Number 83, Sean Fracolosi is in. Again, number 80, Rodney Burcheski gets in playing in defense.
There you see the time remaining here in the ball game as the Panthers are desperately trying to get in the end zone, and I'm not sure why.
Number 57, Adam Hepler's in, a freshman, 5'8", 170 pounds, playing nose guard.
Shotgun formation for Shook now as he looks around. He's going to keep it right up the middle. And he's not going to get in the end zone. He gets the first down, but 59 again all over him there. Big Nick Chapman. He stops him short of the goal line. The ball now down on the 2-yard line or so, a little inside the 2, in fact. And we see Kyle Bartle into the game for the Red Tornadoes, Wayne.
Number 7, Jeff Hicks, playing the right corner position.
All right. They'll line up one more time here. He sneaks it, and I don't know, they didn't get a signal yet. Nobody signaled but their own players. I don't know if he's in or not, to tell you the truth. He looks like he's in from where they're standing, and he is. It's a touchdown, and I don't know what that built on the Panthers side of the ball. Put your kids in, play everybody on the side of the field.
Right.
I mean, this is again, I'll say it, I've said it before, it's dumb. Unless you've got no other players to play, put some kids in and play football. They're going to go for 2, of course, as they catch up here. And Shook looks around and under heavy pressure, and it's good. So now, with 1:05 remaining here in the football game, and the Panthers mounting a comeback, it is the Red Tornadoes 49, the Panthers 16. And the Red Tornadoes have played everybody but me and you right now, Wayne, and I'm getting concerned because I think Coach Brennan's looking up here.
Is he really?
I think he must be crazy. First of all, I can't wear tight pants like that anymore.
No, I wouldn't want you to wear them.
I know.
I'm sorry, but gotta be realistic.
Just the thought of that. All right, we'll do this a little bit longer here as the Red Tornadoes line up to receive the kickoff from the Panthers. Number 42 for the Panthers will be kicking it off. And of course, that's my main man, Tony Zuzu. Tony dribble kicks it down here to Quintero, my main man, and Quintero heads for the Panther Valley sideline, abruptly cuts upfield. He's still chugging along, and he brings it up to the 49-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. What a nice play by Quintero.
You bet. I'll tell you what. And he looked for his blockers. He saw where the wall was going, and he got over there. I'll tell you what. He got some presence of where to go on the field.
There you see him. He picks up it off that high bounce, and he takes off. And I'll tell you what. Just looking at this kid, don't give him a step because once he takes one, he's gone. This kid can become a real threat. I'm telling you, you're going to hear this guy's name. He's just a player. All right. Red Tornadoes will take it up over the 50-yard line. Number 12 in the ball game for the Red Tornadoes, Rick Lichko at quarterback now. I believe it was 82, Polifka on the carry, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Was it Polifka that brought it over midfield?
Brian Polifka, he carried it up.
2nd and 8, there are 21 seconds remaining. This will be the final play of the football game here at the Silver Bowl. And we bump into each other, but we still get it going there, and that's number 80 on the carry, Rodney Buracheski on the carry, and he'll have the final carry of the evening here. The ball game is over, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1, goodbye. The Red Tornadoes win the ball game 49-16, and the 16 coming off 2 meaningless touchdowns in the last couple of minutes of the game as the Panthers mounted a furious comeback.
I know, you love those things.
I'm just not thrilled with that. Get your kids in and play them. That's how you stop losing after year. That's the way it's going to be. I'm going to stand on that one. So a big win tonight at home in the home opener for the Red Tornadoes. We look at all the important stuff here, and of course the important things are we saw no one leave here with an injury. The Panthers, pretty much what we expected. They'll go to 0-2. The Red Tornadoes will be at 2-0. And of course, the Red Tornadoes looking down the path here to a very, very big game next week.
Well, this is the tough part of the schedule, as you know. Year in, year out, we talk about this. We get through the first 2, and now all of a sudden you get the Southerns,
Right.
Shimokins, North Schuylkill, Marion,
Right.
right down the line. So this is the tough part. This is where you got to strap on that chin strap, and this is where you play your games now from here on out.
Right. I mean, Panther Valley is probably the only breather in the whole schedule.
Right.
We look down. I mean, you got a host of teams coming up that are really good. You got a North Schuylkill team which right now is a little shaky. But I don't think you can ever look at a North Schuylkill Mount Carmel game and say it's going to be a game you want to play.
Not anymore.
Because, I mean, I don't care what they're doing. They're coming in, they're going to gouge your eyes. I mean, that's the way they play football. They just hunt for Mount Carmel. So there are no patsies on the schedule. This was probably the easiest game of the year, and then we went out of it in big time. I thought we started slowly, but again, sometimes we look like that, and I'm not seeing all the same things the coaching staff does. So we'll wait. I'll hear more about that at Supper Club, tomorrow night. And see what he felt about that first half. But you get to ask those kind of questions, and he graciously answers them all for you. I want to go ahead.
Before you get on your spiel here, because I know how you go. Once you get started, then it's a half hour later, then we're closing up. But defensively, you take a look at the game. Even starting from last week, we're doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
We're firing on all cylinders. Everybody's playing an excellent game on defense. You take a look at the stats last week in the first half: 26 yards by Pius X. Tonight we held Panther Valley to minus yards. I guess it was minus 28 yards or something on that order. But defensively, we're doing exactly what needs to be done, and that's what's going to keep you in the game. It's
absolutely.
your defensive play.
Yeah, I agree.